This podcast is brought to you by Hoare Chartered Accountants. Hoare Chartered Accountants are based in Galway City and are a leading provider of audit, accountancy and taxation services. For more information, visit hoarecharteredaccountants.ie. You're welcome along now to the Maroon and White pod. So I'm delighted to be joined by Ballinasloe manager Derek Frehill and joint captain Cathal O'Hanlon to look back on their Junior 1 Championship success and look ahead to their Connacht semi-final this weekend. Derek, coming to you first, how were the celebrations in Everton in Ballinasloe after your success?
Sure. Good fun now. Good fun is third year, I suppose. The lads are getting used to doing it all right. But we always head back to Killan's Hotel afterwards for a meal, and it's great. Like when you get back there and you have the wives and girlfriends and the families, the parents, and all there. So there was a great crowd there, and look, we a bit of a sing song and plenty of fun, and some of the lads enjoyed a Monday club. But very good. You have to enjoy these things too, Paul. It's not often it happens. So when you get the opportunity, you have to let the hair down.
You enjoyed the Monday Club, Cathal?
I did, yeah. Well, not as much as others, but I know the lads are good in fairness, and no, it's brilliant. Sure, to do anything three times is super. So we were just delighted to get over the line, and yeah, like that. Monday was special, but we were back training fairly fast after that.
Just on that, Cathal, how special was training?
We probably don't realise it now, and I suppose, look, senior, intermediate, junior, some people might look at it's as special as this third final was as big to us as any of them, and if not bigger because who we were playing against. But it's only down the line now. Like we'll look back at this and go, wow, that was really, it really was a huge achievement, because we didn't really 3 years ago we were we weren't even holding our own in Junior B, and how far we've come now, and how solid the foundations are at the minute. It's really down to all the work that's been done, and it is really special.
Has it sunk in for you yet, Derek?
Yeah, I suppose it has. I'd say to the lads, look at obviously, I'm in my mid-40s and the lads they're only young fellas, but I'd be saying to them, look, a lot of this thing, what they're achieving at the moment, they mightn't realise it until times when they're going to weddings and stuff, and they're gathering later on their careers, and they'll be able to talk back about, geez, do you remember the time we done the 3 in a row and stuff. And that's when, I suppose, as you get a bit older and you can look back, that's when it gets really special. But yeah, look, it's not lost on me what we're achieving at the moment, and look, it's great when you get to work with such an ambitious group of young fellas who are keen to learn. The buy-in is fantastic, and I suppose, look, we're hoping, Paul, we're not finished. That's the big part of it. We're looking 3 in a row is really good, but we'd like to go a little bit further anyway.
On that point, Derek, I imagine to get silverware and get it into this group is just massive for the club in an overall context.
Yeah, definitely. Like we came in 3 years ago, and Rob Nolan would be a joint manager, and Rob does a lot of the training. Myself and Rob are good mates. He's originally from Tipperary, living in Ballinasloe now, so we've worked on a lot of projects before. So we came into the lads and we sat them down and we said, look, while we're here to try win something. And I'd say at that first couple of meetings, lads were kind of going, this is what you hear at the start of every year, but we were very determined that, if we got full buy-in, we could actually get somewhere. And, fairly quickly, I think once we got our first win under the belt, the lads were really positive. And look, momentum is a huge thing in sport, and we've been kind of riding that crest of a wave once we got a couple of wins. And, you need a lot of luck on the way too, Paul, and we have rode our luck a few times, especially in that first year. I think it was the Junior B semi-final. We got a late goal against Castlegar that got us into the final, and without that late goal, would we be anywhere near 3 in a row? Probably not. But yeah, look, it's that silverware and that first day winning the Junior B Championship, and the crowd that was in Loughrea that day was massive. And I could have spoke about it a few times. Like, there was plenty of tears from the older people that have, done way more work than me or Rob, and have soldiered with Cathal and a lot of this team as kids. And, that kind of set a little bit of a foundation. And then we went and we won the Junior One, probably a huge shock at the time. We beat Salt Hill below in Pierce Stadium. And, like, it's a dual club we have. Probably, being honest about it, it would be a lot more people focused on football, and it was, and rightly so, because the football has brought a lot of success to the club. But it just kind of gave us a great opportunity, and people really bought into the club then. And you can see more young lads coming training and stuff like that, and people are getting more interested and involved. And you can see, I think, the last day, we're commenting on Galway Bay, or that the crowd from Ballinasloe that were at the match was fantastic to see. And look at that, I suppose we've had a bit of luck, and a bit of success brings spectators, and we need it. It's valuable to us, and we'd be hoping it stays going that way.
It's really interesting to hear, Cathal, there, your rise from Junior B all the way now to Junior 1. It's when you consider you've been Junior B hurlers, and as you mentioned, maybe you struggled in it early on. The rise over the last few years must just feel incredible.
Yeah, like, without being blunt about it, we were one of the worst clubs in the county, and it hurts to say, but we really were right down there, and we just had to work at it. We had to, in fairness, when Derek and Rob came in and put out that plan in front of us, I'd say a lot of us did think they were mad, because even though we'd come, I suppose we probably came close, but it was just, we couldn't even fathom competing in a final, or trying to get out of Junior B was going to be impossible. And the more the buy-in, the more lads buy into anything, the training. We worked our way up. We got our luck, as Derek said. But no, like, belief is huge. Once there's belief in any sort of a team, there's no bounds to how far you can go. And yeah, like, it means so much to different lads. I suppose myself and the younger lads, we're just hitting ball and having fun, like, whereas, like, let's say the lads likes of Alan Caulfield and Cormac Casey, means a lot. It means a lot to everyone, but it means different things to everyone as well. So yeah, no, it's great to be up in Junior A this year and really competing, and being really disappointed with not maybe getting to really disappointed not getting to the final, and really looking forward to next year already.
It's really interesting to hear you say you're one of the worst clubs to watch you've now become.
Yeah, like, it. I know it was like, we're only fooling ourselves if we're not calling it what it was. We weren't playing. We weren't even playing clubs' first teams. Any club. It was all second teams, and yeah, like, it's a bit surreal to see, like, where we're coming. Where we've played. We've beat Kiltormer on the way. We've beat Spiddle. We've beat Barna. We've beat Salt Hill. The challenge now, I'm actually relishing the challenge now next year of this Premier Junior, and getting a crack at the likes of Abbeyknockmoy and Annadown and Kilbeaconty, because that's who you want to be playing. You don't want to be you want to be pushing up all the time, and challenging yourself and seeing the progress you're making, and I think we are making that progress.
Is that something you're looking forward to, Derek, of, I suppose, this Junior Championship being restructured next year?
Yeah, I suppose. Look, it's an interesting one. It'll be tougher. Obviously, we have a lot of good teams coming down from intermediate. Obviously, the likes of, we had Kiltormer there coming down for this year. So look, it's a new challenge. I suppose it does bring a little bit more certainty from the point of view. It can be very difficult when you're playing club second teams, because depending where you play them in the group, it can make a huge difference. Because if you play them early in the group, they could have 4 or 5 lads that end up playing senior, and we'd always be trying to get them second teams like Sarsfields or Cappy or some of them late on, and you'd hope that they have had a few lads that have played senior after their first round or two. But yeah, I suppose there's more clarity in the group now that whoever you're getting, you know that firsthand what they have, and that's it. So yeah, look, we relish the challenge. I suppose we're at the moment we'd be more interested now in the Connacht
Yeah.
Championship, but looking going forward to next year, yeah, hopefully, it's something you'd be embracing anyway.
Is it better to have one championship? Do you feel like Junior A and Junior One?
Um, at the moment, the junior one is very, very important because you're guaranteed to be playing with your teams at your own level. And like if we take last year, I know we played uh Cappy Tagle in the group game in a group game in the junior, and 3 of them guys played in the county final afterwards. And like that's credit to them. That's not me complaining at all, but like you're the J1 gives you a great opportunity to play teams that you're guaranteed that they're at your level, and there's not a senior hurler stuck in there somewhere at the time. And look, it's just a timing issue, and full credit to them teams. And look, that's where we need to get to. But I think at the moment, the way that the things were structured, the J1 is a very important competition. I suppose going forward to next year, it's not as important then that you'll have a kind of a more settled championship, and a kind of more transparent championship really.
Was it hard then, Cathal, to switch focus because the Loughrea defeat was obviously a very tough one to take, but you knew then you had, I suppose, Junior One to come.
Yeah, I suppose it softened the blow a small bit. Like we were heartbroken to lose on penalties. Is never a nice feeling, and in a semi final as well, it was cruel. But it gave us, I suppose, it gave us another target to hit. We knew it was there, and we knew that we wanted to achieve again. So yeah, like that game was played. Unfortunately, lost, but we were back training again. Our sights were on Michal Brannock's then in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after, and yeah, we were more determined to get over the line.
Did it soften the blow a small bit, knowing, I suppose, if you win Junior A previous years, you were going up to intermediate, maybe, that you were going to be junior anyways, regardless next year?
Slightly, I suppose. Yeah, it yeah. If you yeah, we'd be gutted like if to go out on penalties and if that chance of promotion was taken from you. But yeah, no, I suppose like you were saying, should there be 1 or 2 championships? To have the junior one this year was a great advantage because it did give us that rather than your season be over and you're looking into a 4 or 5 month preseason. We did have that target again to go and do ourselves justice, and we did that, thank God.
Just reflecting on the Kiltormer game, it's Cathal, has it given you time to maybe reflect on the performance? You got the job done, obviously, but Kiltormer had a few issues with, I suppose, different free takers, and probably will look back a bit disappointed, and maybe they felt they could have had that game closer.
Yeah, we've watched it back a few times, and to be honest, we got very lucky. We missed a lot of chances, and we were very wasteful with the ball. Kiltormer, I'm sure watching it back as well, Kiltormer are kicking themselves that the chances they had, and it could have been so much closer coming down the line. But it's all it's all learnings really, and it was great to be able to watch back the game and see maybe places we could improve or places we're going wrong. Personally, and also I suppose as a team, because oh yeah, you often find, I suppose, if you go out and you win a game, everyone thinks they're great, and on reflection now, we're really after seeing a few things that we can clear up and have right for Moytura now this weekend.
2-8 wasn't too bad for yourself.
No, that wasn't too bad. I'll give someone else one of the other goals. I only got 1-8. But no, nice to get a few. Free the first frees were a bit long. But I've been practicing them now, so hopefully they'll go over now the next day.
For yourself, Derek, how do you reflect on the performance against Kiltormer?
Look, when you any day you win a final, it's fantastic, and we were delighted on the day, I suppose. Carl is flirting around the whole thing of we met as a group last Friday, and there was a few choice words when we went away and fully analysed the games and seen a lot of the areas where we felt on the day we should have been an awful lot better. And when we worked on it, like from a few individual performances just weren't good enough. And, you know, some of our collective play, our defensive setup and puck outs, you know, work rate, these things that we take as a given. When you actually went back and done the analysis of the game, they weren't there, and probably masked receiving the cup and winning on the day probably covered up all of them. But you know, in the cold light of day, when we got looking at it, myself, Rob, and Jody, and the selectors, we went, no, this definitely won't be good enough going forward. So we had a fairly strong heart-to-heart on Friday night, and look, they're good lads, they take it on board, and look, we've a lot of workings to do over the next couple of days to get it right for Saturday.
Obviously, Derek mentioned how special three in a row was with that Junior 1 Championship. Is it something now you just sort of have to park and forget about as the Connacht Championship begins?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, look, it's as I said, when we go to weddings or meet up in years to time, we'll talk about the three in a row. But now it's parked. We enjoyed our Sunday. The lads enjoyed their Monday. It was really good. But to be fair to them, once we were back training on Wednesday, there's no problem. There's no talk of three in a rows around, and it's the one in the row that we want. That's all we want, to Connacht title, and you know we're extremely ambitious to get that. It's an Everest at the moment. We failed twice, so we've come up a long way short. We still may be too short for it, I don't know, but you know, until we're knocked out of it, we'll be really trying hard to get there.
It's a special time of year, Derek, to be involved, isn't it? Every club would love to be involved in a provincial competition.
It is. Look, we've had an unbelievable journey in the last 3 years, and I do say to people, like, you're almost looking for the burnout at some stages. Like, we went the first year, we went all the way to Connacht, but because we won the Junior B, we ended up in the Junior B All Ireland series below in Killeedy, and we ended up winning Leinster, and we were still hurling in that in February, and we went, I think we'd 4 weeks between that to the first round of the league, and we went all the way to the Connacht final. Then last year the boys got a bit of a break, and we were back, and we were been on the road a long time. So I suppose for the last 3 years, it's a brilliant complaint, but like, we've been hurling some amount. I'd say in that, we, apart from maybe 3 months, we've been hurling every other weekend, every second weekend. So it's brilliant. You love it. Look, it's great. The longer you're in these competitions, the better. It shortens the winter anyway, Paul.
How excited are you for this Connacht Championship, Cathal?
Oh yeah, buzzing again. Can't wait. Like, sure, great to win Galway, but we, like Derek said, this is what we want now. We didn't think we were going to ever get out of Junior B. I never thought we'd compete in Junior A. You'd like to hope we could, but now definitely this is what we want. I know, talking to the lads, that's all they want too. It'd be just so brilliant. But, and we know we can do it. Like, when we string passes together, when lads are ticking, like Evan Hayes could turn a game in 5 minutes. He could turn a game upside down and destroy teams. Jason Cunningham has absolute pace to burn, and he'll destroy. Like, we have to find that the balance of everything and getting it right. If we get it right, there'll be no stopping us.
How tough of a competition is it, Cathal? Because everyone will obviously look on and look at Easky and what they've achieved over the last few years.
It's very tough. It is. Talking to friends and family and stuff, you tell them you're playing a Sligo team, and they all, people that don't know, kind of go, "Oh well, you'll get over them." And I'm there with the last 2 years telling them, "Look, they've kind of wiped the floor with us." It's really tough. Like, Easky are a top side. They compete in a lot of senior championships to the bitter end. They're a top side, top players. They make up the Sligo team, basically, and that's what you're coming up against. It's a Galway junior team versus a very, very, very good outfit. So So we don't know too much about Moytura the first year in the championship for them. So that's why we have to treat every game as every game as a final now. That's the bottom line, and our aim is to win all our finals.
It's special to have it in Duggan Park, I imagine.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's very special to have it in the Duggan. I suppose, look, it is because it's in Ballinasloe. People presume that it's our backyard, and it was. We've only got in there for the first time to play a championship match this year. We played by accident. We played a league game there 2 years ago, but it's, I suppose, because it's a county pitch, it's rare enough we get the use of it now. And no, it'll be really special to tog out and get on the pitch and play a Connacht semi-final in the Duggan, because I suppose some of the older lads on the team that's where they would have done all their hurling growing up. My first training session ever was in the Duggan before we had our new facilities, and yeah, no, hopefully it'll be a great day.
Yeah, with that, Derek, I imagine it's unique in one sense to have it in Duggan Park for you this weekend.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Look, to be bringing a game of that nature, like a Connacht Championship game, back down to Ballinasloe is brilliant. Like, for the people that are the hurling fanatics in the town, to be able to bring a game of that nature there. Look, and alluding to what Carl was saying there, like, this championship it's so difficult, Paul. It's like people don't realise, there is no doubt in my mind the like of Eastkey. We know nothing about Moytura, but if we talk about Eastkey, like, Eastkey, no problem operated intermediate level in Galway, like, absolutely no problem. They've huge amount of inter-county players, and we've Moytura on Saturday. They have 5 fellas in on the Mayo panel. Mayo did win the Nicky record this year. I think 4 lads started. One of the main Mayo forwards it will be playing against us. So, like, we don't have any inter-county player. These lads are coming with inter-county players, inter-county experience, and that's the level that you're playing at. And look, I've said it before, you're a Galway team going into Connacht. That's the problem with that, is everyone wants to beat the Galway team, and it's straight away there's a bullseye on your back. Let's beat the Galway team and keep the Galway teams down. And look, at like, that's fully understandable, but it makes it even that bit more difficult.
Just on that point, Moytura, obviously, they entered the competition for the first year. I imagine none of their games probably have been streamed in Mayo this year. Maybe I could be wrong, but has it actually been hard to get footage on them?
Yeah, I had to toughen up now. We've got a few little bits and pieces and little things, but the biggest problem for us, Paul, is that their championship was in August, and they're an amalgamation of 6 different clubs, so 6 different football clubs. And the problem is that a lot of the guys that would have been playing football at that time obviously aren't now, so they'll be available to the hurlers. So, I've been strongly warned that the team that played in the championship in Mayo could be a complete different outfit that turn up again in the Duggan on Saturday. So, we're very, very aware of that. It is difficult when you're going into the unknown, but we focus very much on ourselves. But you always like to have one eye maybe on the opposition. But on this occasion, it'd be foolish for us to take too much on what the clips and stuff that I've been getting, because it's so long ago, and an awful lot of their players wouldn't have been available to them.
You simply don't really know what you're coming up against.
Yeah, very, very, very much so. And unfortunately for us, there's plenty of footage of us out there. So if they're doing their homework, they'll have us they'll have us well sorted. But no, look, we'll have to come with a few different ideas, and we'll have to be. The big thing is we're going to have to be able to think on our feet. In the first 5 to 10 minutes, we'll get a fair look at what they're doing, and we're going to have, as a management team, we're going to have to be fairly swift on the line and get the decisions and the calls right.
Carl, how do you feel preparations have went then since the county final?
Yeah, no, we're in good shape. Like, we got straight back to training. The first session back was pretty brilliant. I had to sit out. I got that awful flu that's going around. It might have had something to do with the Monday club, but no, the session was super. Like, everyone was back. Trained again Friday, and lads back from college. Session was good. It's getting tougher, I suppose. The great thing about being involved this time of year is you're getting the chance to win finals, but the other side is the grass is wet, pitches are heavy, schlitters are wet, everything is under lights. But no, preparation is super. We're all minding ourselves, making sure we're in the best possible shape, and yeah.
As a free taker, you mentioned it there, winter hurling. It's, I suppose, the frees are even more crucial this time of year now. But it obviously comes challenges with that as well.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. There's nothing better than like that. Maybe the Duggan Park on a dry day in July and new schlitters. But yeah, this time of year, I suppose, if we don't know, I don't know what it'll be like Saturday yet, but like wet schlitters, wet grips, wet hurls. It does make it that much more challenging. But you're right in saying that, like, a lot of games this time of year, unfortunately, maybe for spectators, are won based on freeze. So look, I'll practice this week. I've try and get up to the pitch as much as I can. Yeah, but yeah, like that. Hopefully it won't come down to freeze and we'll get to play lots of hurling. But yeah, no, I'm practicing away anyways.
I know Derek mentioned it early on, but a word on your supporters. I was even chatting to people coming away from the intermediate final, and I think a lot of supporters were surprised at the amount of Ballinasloe supporters in the stand for the intermediate final.
Yeah, no, it's really special. It's brilliant to see all the flags and the banners and bunting around town and signs. And at the Kiltormer match, it's brilliant to look into the crowd and you see black and amber everywhere. And I suppose it's our families and our mothers and fathers and girlfriends and wives and friends. It's great to see everyone there and be involved, because it's much more than just I suppose there's 15 of us that get to go out on the pitch, and there's 20 more that are on the panel, and we've a really special we've a really special job to go out and play. But it's our friends and family that make the occasion and spur us on, because that's who you do, that's who you play for, that's who you drive for. It's like, I suppose I go out, myself and the lads go out and play hurling, and then it's the smile you see on mum and dad's face, or the roar from the crowd, the young lads even. I thought it was a great idea this year. Galway had was it under 11s or 12s come out at half time and play in all the games, and for those kids to see your club on a big day with a chance to lift a cup, I think is a really special thing, because it didn't happen when I was that age. But I know if I'd have seen that, you'd just be in absolute awe of what was going on, and really wanting to do that, I suppose, yourself. So for all the clubs, that's really important.
Just on that, Derek, it's obviously given the younger players now in the club to have a team to look up to. Even I know probably one of your best heritage probably lost Shane Jennings a couple of years ago, who was obviously involved with the Galway Miners, and you've obviously had your challenges as well as a club.
Yeah, definitely. Losing the like of Shane, and we've lost a few lads to soccer and a few more lads to rugby as well. So yeah, with when you come from a town like Ballinasloe with so much sport in it, you know that's difficult. You're trying to draw off what's technically a small enough pool. But what I would say, Paul, is we're very, very lucky. We have some brilliant people in the club, and I think we're the envy of most clubs for the facilities we have. We have like 2 floodlit pitches. We have a gym. We have like top dressing rooms. We've hats. It's just brilliant. Like so from that end of it, there isn't a thing that as a club we'd want, or as a management team that we'd ever want that we don't get. I'd be slagging the lads. You can see them there wearing the gear. they've more gear than inter-county players. Every time I'm talking to someone, they're ordering new gear for them, and I'd be laughing at it. But from that side of it, we're very lucky with the club. Yeah, it's a challenge for us to try and make sure that we keep young kids in the club. I suppose one of the big things for us is to make sure as a dual club that we keep them interested in both codes. That's difficult. The pool is so small that if we keep dividing and we have hurlers in the club and footballers in the club, that's where the challenges come. So I suppose there's a lot of people doing great work underage, and you can see we've nice numbers, 25, 30 kids and more in some. I think it was our under 13s won a cup last year, which was really good to see it. But yeah, look, it's great to have likes of Cathal and some of the other lads there now that these young lads are looking up to. And it's all about the youth, to be honest. But like when we took over, we had some great lads in the club, a couple of older fellas, and we just basically said to them, look, you're going to be very much part of it, but if we don't get the young lads driving this on, we're in trouble. And in fairness, look, Cathal and the lads were only probably 20. There's a gang of between, I think, the vast majority of the team is made up of lads between the ages of 19 and 23 or 4. And if they led it, we had a great opportunity. And in fairness to the older lads in the club, they went, fully bought in, let the young lads do it. I think Cahill's third year as captain with Owen. I'd say there were two of the youngest members of the squad when we made them captain, but that was the idea of trying to let the young lads show if they're good enough or not. And they've bought in, and you'd be hoping then the young lads that are 15, 16, 17, we're lucky enough, we get an odd young lad coming into the training sessions, and that's what we need. And hopefully that continues, because unfortunately at the moment, the club, we don't have a minor team, we don't have an under 20 team, so we have that gap at the moment, and we need the lads that are 16, 15, 16 now trying to bridge that
Are
gap.
those players going to other clubs then to play minor?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Paul, look, thankfully it has stopped, but we lost 3 or 4 really good players that were moved, or we'll say farmed out to other clubs that didn't come back. And that's very difficult. When I'm looking at it and looking at these lads playing with other teams, I'm going, Jesus, what an asset they would be to us. But look, no fault to the young lads. It was the lie of the land at the time. Ballinasloe didn't have probably enough of a carrot for lads to say, look, we have a hurling outfit here, which now we do, and I don't think that'll ever happen again, in fairness. So look, at some clubs take on our minors, but they all come back now, so it's great. And we had this year, like we had Niall Jennings, and Oran, she and Niall is Shane's younger brother, and Niall's a big part of our team. But Niall was playing with Cappy this year as well, so he played his under 20 hurling with Cappy, and then came and played his junior with us. So that's kind of the model at the moment.
Just obviously with that, has travel then been an issue? Obviously, we're seeing in a lot of clubs, like a lot of people seem to be heading abroad now at the minute.
Yeah, we lost. Look, because we lost. I've said there, we played our junior 1 last year, and I think 5 of the lads, I think 19 lads played the junior 1 final, and 5 of them aren't available to us. 3 went travelling, and we'd another two lads just with work commitments and different commitments couldn't stay with us this year. And I think it was 6 altogether off the panel, which was a lot considering. I'd say we've about 26. Like early on this year now, we had against Moore, I think we took 17 players is all we had in the championship. So our panel was small, but look, it's growing back again. We had a lot of injuries early this year as well, I suppose, on the back of, as I alluded to earlier on, we've been hurling so much in 2 years. But yeah, we lost a couple of good guys. Our goalkeeper, we lost Shane Reynolds, he went travelling, and Jack Dillon, who got the goal to equalise the J1 final the first day last year. He got the goal, big part. He was come on full forward, centre forward, first a good player. We lost him as well. But look, on the back of that, then Paul, some lads that were kind of on the verge of the team and on the edge of the team have stepped up and worked really, really hard, and have found themselves on starting 15s and getting plenty of game time this year.
Do you feel now, Carl, you're starting to turn a corner as a club and starting to retain more players?
I really hope so, yeah. Yeah, I suppose like that, a few years ago, the bigger picture was very hard to see. But I suppose that's the beauty of the GAA. Like I suppose you inherit your club and you try and put it in the best place you can. And if lads buy in, like that, you move up the grades, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're hoping to continue doing. And like to get a win on Saturday is just the next step and all that. But no, definitely it's hopefully for those younger lads coming through. I don't think they realize how important they are to the club and to this team. Like we will really be relying on them in years to come, and we're already talking about making sure that all the right steps are there that they can integrate into this adult team, because like I suppose I'm only young, but I won't be around forever either. So it's just about making sure there's that kind of seamless flow, and making sure that lads realize that this is their team. They mightn't even be on it yet, but this is the team they will play for.
Yourself there as joint captain, you're obviously one of the more younger joint captains across clubs. How, I suppose, how does it work, and how do you feel being joint captain?
It's a real honor. It is like it's really special, and it's only looking back on it now, like there's not too many people anywhere that have got to lift 3 cups plus ever in their careers, maybe, and myself and Owen have been very lucky to do that. I suppose myself and Owen get on really well. We were in secondary school together all the way up, and always hurled together. And like that, Derek said earlier, like I'm sure as the older lads on the team, when we were made captain, I'm sure they were unrightly so. It might have ruffled a few feathers, or lads going, what's going on here? But buy in really and lead by example, because we do a bit of talking in the dress, like any dressing room. Everyone does a bit of talking in the dressing room, but there's 15 plus leaders in our squad, and someone picks it up if someone else is slacking. There's no holding back. If someone isn't pulling their weight, they'll be told, and they know it's not given out to the person. You're not doing it for the team, and they mightn't be. If that's not good enough for the team, they need to be told about it. So and I suppose leading by example as well. Owen is he really is a role model for any athlete. He's so committed. He's so determined. Football or hurling, he's first to the ball every time. I'd hate marking him in training now. He's so difficult to get anything over, and he makes sure that you're not going to get anything over him. So he leads that, and lads see that, and feed off that, because you want to be playing the best, and you want to be playing the best for your team. So it's a real privilege, and hopefully the lads, I suppose, the lads buy into what we're doing and see that while we're called captains or whatever, there's 15 captains on the team.
Just for yourself, Colin, I know you had the tournament a few years there in the Dome running for with the Galway juniors and everything. Is it, I suppose, not frustrating, but is it difficult, do you feel, to be noticed as a player in the junior ranks when it comes to maybe Galway hurling?
I suppose, yeah, it is a little bit, because let's say this year now, there's the year just gone, you have your senior B, intermediate, and then junior, and there's a lot of very talented hurlers that don't get a look in even by the time you get to junior. So look, it is tough, but they're the challenges. You have to prove yourself, and there's no point feeling sorry or sitting in junior and going, well, you're never going to get a chance. You have to you have to make that chance. Like I suppose I was in college there last year, and you look around teams and stuff, and you see the spread from all the different counties, and I suppose you're always subconsciously or consciously comparing yourself to the standard around the counties, and seeing, where lads are coming from, and could you compete? And you like to think you could. Now, obviously, when you get in there, it's a totally different volume. Like we're nowhere near that standard yet, but it is. I suppose it is tough to be seen, but you have to you just have to get on with that, because but that's why Galway hurling is what it is. It's really special. It probably is it probably is the most competitive club championship in Ireland, because hurling football, but it's everything in Galway. You give everything everything to your club, and like I suppose there's so many players, to pick from, so that's why it's so difficult.
Derek, we've seen obviously Donald O'Shea was probably the sole representative when it came to Galway hurling from the junior ranks. Would you like to see more players maybe looked at from a junior level? Do you think there is a couple of players that are maybe up to that level?
Yeah, I suppose first of all, well, I think it would be brilliant to get the junior Galway team back again. I know the pre-season competitions, there's talk of them making a comeback this year. I think that was really, really special. I know from the lads in our club, we got to send Cathal, and I think there was five other fellas, six fellas went, and same for all the other clubs. And I was lucky enough to be involved with Declan Malloy in that management team there 2 years ago, and we went to the Dome, and I think we played Roscommon. We won the Shield. New York beat us actually. But it was so special for them lads to be wearing the Galway jersey, and it probably gave them for us as a club. It gave us massive motivation when they came back, and the following year there was other lads mad to get onto that. But yeah, well, look, it would be really, really good to see one or two of these lads. I definitely would love to see a few of them get in on the pre-season with the county. If we're being honest, the gap is probably still a little bit too much for them, but it would be great to let them go and see, well, this is the level I need to get to, that learn off it. You could imagine, look at, to be fair to Cathal, he's lit up the junior championship in the last 3 years. He's been a fantastic player, along with a lot of other lads from other clubs. But for the like of Cathal, it would be fantastic to be called in. And look, he knows himself, he's off that level yet, but it would be lovely for him to go in even for a 6 week campaign and just say, look, this is where I need to get to. And along with some of the other lads in some of the other clubs, like there's some fantastic players. Even going back like the county final last day, Mark Kilkenny, young fella from Giltormer, was midfield. He was absolutely outstanding on the day. And you'd love to think a young lad like him getting in even into a squad, early pre-season squad, maybe just see what the level these are at, even from a gym point of view, physique, how far am I away physique wise, and they might bring that back to the club and add it on to the other players learning a bit. But yeah, the gap is still there, Paul, obviously, but I think the stepping stone for them would definitely be the junior championship again. I think if Galway in any way could get that back up, I think it would be fantastic for the lads.
I suppose the thing about it is, Derek, the more you go on throughout this year, the more you will get noticed.
Ah, yeah, definitely. Look, and I think to be fair, I got a call my first year about Cathal for the under 20 panel. They were looking to see would he be available, and he was just over age. He was a bit unlucky. He hadn't been spotted. He was a year too late being spotted. But look, I think we spoke about Shane Jennings earlier on. Like Shane, I think his last ever game of hurling, he got man of the match in a minor final and won an All Ireland. So you can do it. You can do it from a junior club. Donal O'Shea has done it, obviously, from Salt Hill. It does make it a little bit difficult, but look, I think one of the big parts of all is consistency. Sometimes at this level you can get away with a poor game and odd time where, when you get into that senior setup, at a bad day you get the curly finger and you're off. And I think that's the big difference. And I suppose one of the things, and we learned when we met Eastskey the first year, they had a lot of inter-county hurlers, was the physicality. And in fairness to our club, I remember coming back that day, the first after the Connacht final, and saying, someone asked me what's the difference, I said physicality first of all. And I think 6 or 8 weeks later the club had built a gym and put a gym in for the lads. So that's where the gaps are. It's more physicality and learning off better players as well. If you take a club like Cappy or someone like that over the road, like David Damien Joyce, who's, he's given his knowledge down to the next lads who are then giving it down again, and you've James Skell and people like that. Whereas, unfortunately, first in the club, we don't have an older county player there. But look, maybe that'll come in time, and the opportunities will be there for the lads as well.
Just before we finish, lads, like coming to you, Carl, obviously you mentioned Connacht is the aim. I suppose is the dream a Connacht this year, obviously get past Saturday and go on and hopefully turn over Eastskey and even carry it into potentially an All Ireland series.
Oh, like, look, Paul, that's so far beyond us yet, but obviously, like, it'd be just amazing. But we can't even we can't let ourselves dream that far on yet. We have to we have to get business done this Saturday, please God, and right a few wrongs from the last 2 years. It's really been something that's got at it's been at all. It's been in the back of all our heads. Like, the I suppose the first year we got the chance to play in the Connacht final, no more than what could come yet. The occasion was huge. Like, we hadn't played, but prior to that we played on pitches that weren't lined and in front of two sets of management teams, and this was in the centre of excellence, which, like, that, the start of our support, and it was just amazing, and we gave it our all. But like that, Eastkey were a bigger, physical, they were a more matured side, and I suppose we took away the learnings, and we thought then last year that was it. We've made the wrongs right, and that was our chance. And so it was a bit disheartening coming away last year. How could we have let the same thing happen, and that real sinking feeling driving away from the dome again, realizing that we'd, I suppose, let another chance go. But no, really looking forward to it now, and just can't wait to show what we can do.
And Derek, you're obviously hoping to carry this journey on for a good few more weeks anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose, look, the big thing is, and it's not the cliche, we have to make sure we do the business on Saturday. It's a very difficult game for us because we don't know what's happening. But, we spoke about it as a team, like the county final against Kiltormer. It was massive. It was a county final. But what it did do, it opened the gate to a Connacht Championship. This game on Saturday, it's so important. But win that, and all it does is open the gate to an opportunity to get back into a Connacht final. And, we're really, while you'd love to be able to say to you, yeah, we are thinking way beyond that. We just can't afford to pull, because we could be sitting in the Duggan on Saturday going, Jesus, where did this all go wrong? If we don't make sure we're fully prepared and ready for it. And I don't want to be kind of sounding cliched, but that is just the facts of it for this occasion anyway.
Great stuff, lads. Well, wish you the very best of luck on Saturday and in the Connacht Championship.
Thanks a million, Paul. Thank you.